Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. helloazae here, and we are back with another episode of the Unfinished Swan. Last time I left off, we had just discovered that the king had lost some of his powers. He was now trapped in a tower, and he had just woken up after meeting.
Ah, it's you, the boy from my dream. What a strange dream it was. My life's work was being destroyed, and all I could do was watch.
Come.
What?
Sit here by the fire.
Okay, I definitely do not remember you.
It all began right there, in the house I grew up in.
The house you grew up in. So I presume I will be playing this section.
I heard a heavy knocking at the door, just like on the night I left. I opened the door, but there was nothing there, just white space.
Door closed behind me. Wait, this looks very familiar. The very first hallway in which I came into this world. Or, sorry, Monroe did.
But when I got outside, disaster. Some miscreant had painted everything. My garden was ruined.
Something tells me, my apologies.
And then my statue spoke and said, "Help me! Some little hooligan is running around splattering everything in the garden. I think he's headed for the... Something got in my mouth. Oh dear.
I don't remember myself doing that.
I saw my unfinished labyrinth, abandoned and forgotten.
And?
And then the credits appeared.
Your dreams have credits?
Oh yes, and subtitles.
What an interestingly meta-narrative we're gonna go for here. Oh. I like where this is going, though, the aesthetic. Again, this whimsical nature is just... oh, so nice. Whoa. Oh, don't tell me. Am I once again to make the vines grow? I like that part of the game very much so, actually. Had so much fun just kind of, well.
And then I saw my beautiful city strangled by those disgusting vines.
Oh, please.
I built it to stand 100 lifetimes, and instead it'll be buried in one, a monument for weeds.
Artist Corey Davis, Miriam Nagy. Now recounting the tales of everything I went through as the king. Interesting.
The dining hall was full of people, like the old days. It smelled like roasted goose. For a moment, I was happy.
Okay. Whoa. Wow.
Then suddenly, I was alone again. The world had become cold and dark. I felt my own death rising up around me.
Okay. Okay, so I'm floating about with the square I've created. Trying to follow where this story is taking me, but at times I'm just kind of very,
I
very
floated past chunks of the house I built, or started building, scarcely 10 years later, and the whole thing was in ruins. My works were meant to last forever, but most of them will be gone before I am.
This was, and that's your wife. Oh, I got a little
I
too.
was at a funeral. My own, as it turned out. No one was there. Except you.
Wait, except me? Is this so I'm the father? Well, I am the king's the father, but Swan. Wait, I'm me again.
I saw my monument, my last hope of leaving something that would live on after me, and I began to walk towards it.
Onwards.
And with each step I took, I got larger.
And larger.
I just kept growing and growing, like a teenager.
I didn't grow very much as a teenager.
Gentle push.
Whoa.
My monument crumbled and sank.
Is that?
I saw my life's work laid out in front of me. Soon it would crumble into dust or be painted over by someone who would come after me, the same way I painted over what was here before me.
Crown. Whoa. My goodness. This is getting strangely metaphysical.
I knew that everything I'd made was over. And as I sat there, looking out into the darkness, I thought back on all the things I'd built and left unfinished. I realized something. I wasn't sad that it was all gone. I'd fun making all that stuff. I would have done it anyway. And then somehow I knew that when I woke up, all my work really would be destroyed. And that's when you showed up. I don't know how you got here, but I'm glad to see you. I have something for you. This brush isn't mine anymore. My work is over. It belongs to you now. I hope it makes you happy, and that someday they will say, he is a better man than his father. That door will take you anywhere you want to go, but leave quickly, child. None of this will last for long.
And that night, even though he was very tired, Monroe did something that would have made his mother very happy. He painted.
Now that was a very interesting end. One that I was definitely not expecting from Unfinished Swan. So it seems though I wasn't entirely wrong in thinking that the father and the mother, sorry, the king and the queen were in fact the mother and father of Monroe. So the leap of logic somewhere kind of stretched from, at one point, you are just some stranger entering to some strange and orphan child entering some painting. And now now that I'm looking at this ending, I'm thinking back to all the things I've read about the Unfinished Swan, how it's about coping with loss and loss of your parents, loss of your mother in particular. And I see that resemblance right towards the very end section where it's like, and now he kind of finished that painting because I felt like that there was a proverbial passing of the torch from the king to Monroe through the paintbrush, and that paintbrush let him connect with his parents again in some small way. Both were artists of their own right, but both cannot continue any longer, like just such as how the mothers passed away, and now the king, in this instance, woke up from his dream, but didn't really have very much left besides Monroe. And like that ending was all about, saying, even after I'm gone, you'll continue painting on. Someone will continue painting on the work after me, etc., etc. That proverbial passing of the torch was very much indicative here by Monroe, receiving the paintbrush, and again, afterwards finishing the painting that his mother had started, or if anything, painted something else. Something that was unfinished from his parents' time, and completing that in his own way. So I can see where the idea of coping and see the idea of moving forward and accepting the grace, the situation where your parents aren't there, but you'll still move on forward anyway. So that's very nice. And to be very frank, that was very unexpected of an ending. I was assuming there'd be like one more section where you catch up to the king, but yeah, very, it wasn't rush. I wouldn't say rush, but it was just very unexpected. Of course, dealing with the idea of coping and death and such like that is very deep. It's a very difficult subject to speak about as a whole. And in this case, moving on forward from any situation, in this case, death, and because of others, just difficulties in life, that first step forward, and this knowing that moving forward is an important thing, that seeing those results is always the most important path towards a better, brighter, and more vibrant and colorful future. So in that sense, Unfinished Swan, great game, good job. If you weren't already aware, throughout this playthrough, or my 100% OG Play Something series, I was having a lot of fun playing this game. I was feeling genuine happiness just enjoying the moments that came by. Sure, the spiders were very creepy, the hose of the vines were exceptionally fun, and then there are some parts where just too much white and I had no idea where I was going. But in spite of all that, I had genuine fun playing, and that's really what video games are all about. A lot of happiness, a good bit of entertainment, and maybe, just maybe, if the developers and the creators and directors wish it so, makes you think just a little bit towards greater questions of just life in general. The interactive medium is a beautiful thing, and Giant Sparrow, for all that's said and done, are very good at delivering an interactive game with a very deep, meaningful message. And so often they can be left up to interpretation, or you can just find ways to relate it to your own life, in which this case I definitely know how to. So yeah, applause for Giant Sparrow. I love this game. I love What Remains of Edith Finch, and I can't wait to see their last game coming out next, as some part of 3-year contract they were signed into. But I'm sure they'll get more work after that. If you like the content you've seen here today, guys, please, I highly consider liking the video, commenting, letting me know what you want to see in the future, and subscribing so I can give you more of said content. If you can, and as a great favor to me, follow me on Twitter for some awkwardly quirky remarks at times, or if just for me to announce what is going on in the last few days of my life. You can follow me at helloazae. Last but not least, cheers guys, take care and have a great one.